Hey everybody, Motorpoet59 here. Well, it appears that the CHOP people or CHAZ people or chump people or whatever you want to call them in Seattle are smarter than they appear as a whole. They seem to have figured out that the Democrats have done nothing more than hijack their movement and their cause, which is exactly what the Democrats have been doing in my memory. They have never really backed a cause. They've never signed any legislation or put any bills forward that were actually going to help with a cause, not since the Civil Rights Act in 1964 that was signed by Lyndon Johnson. They have sent bills to the House that they knew beyond a shadow of a doubt were never going to pass. That way they could say, well, we tried, but the evil and mean Republicans wouldn't let us do it. Why didn't they take care of some of that stuff when Obama was elected and they had the House and the Senate? Well, what do you think? But back to my point. The Democrats have never backed anybody. They've never supported anybody. They pay them lip service. Like I said in one of my other videos, I don't even remember which one now, where the Democrat elected folks were kneeling, wearing the traditional African color garb, like the hat that Jim Brown wears, in that design. And I saw that and I just thought, oh my God, how can black people everywhere, no matter whether they support Black Lives Matter or whether they're dead on conservatives, how could any black person in the United States not be offended or at least feel patronized by that? They don't do anything for people. They never have. It's just like with gay people or the LGBTQWXYZ movement. They've never done anything for them. They put legislation forward that had to be voted on by the people, but they never put up any legislation that was actually voted on and passed by the House and the Senate and signed by the President that helped anyone. It's never done anything to help anyone. And I hope that this is a sign of things to come, where these groups, no matter how much I disagree with them or how vehemently I disagree with them, I hope they start figuring out that that's what's going on with the Democrats. Now, I don't think these people will start voting Republican, but maybe they'll just stop voting. And I know that Barack Obama had lots of black voters who voted for him in both elections, but once he was out of office and his time was over, most of those black people who voted for him simply didn't vote again at all. Because I knew a lot of those black voters who did that, who were really disillusioned with what Barack Obama did, what he failed to do. He did nothing for black people, which means, the Democrats did nothing for black people, because if they would have put forward good legislation that would have enacted positive change and sent that up to Barack Obama, I'm sure he would have signed it. But no such legislation was ever forthcoming during his entire administration. It was pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic. Black people everywhere in America should be absolutely ashamed that they voted for him. They should be ashamed of him. And they should be ashamed of the Democrats, who are, for the most part, still around and still doing nothing for anyone. So all you rioters, BLM, I hope right now, if you go to make a donation on the website, BLM, it will direct you to Act Blue, which is an organization designed to help Democrats get elected. It has nothing to do with black people. It has nothing to do with any group other than the Democrats themselves. I hope that BLM gets this straightened out in their heads, gets rid of Act Blue, and that maybe when they realize that they're being used as a tool for the Democrats, that maybe they will start to organize themselves, and maybe they should organize and decide who they want representing them, if anyone. Maybe they just want to do their own thing and make their own noise, like a lot of other groups have in the past. And sometimes that actually helps them as long as it's rational. But don't look for any help from the Democrats. And people say, oh, well, what about the Republicans? Hey, the Republicans never promised anyone anything except that we would try to make better jobs available. And that has happened over the course of time. Start at the bottom and work your way up. You can't start at the top and work your way down. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to come out of high school or out of college and be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You got to start at the bottom. You got to start in a warehouse. You got to start out on the streets. You got to start in delivery vans. You got to start selling people things. That's the way that works. And the Republicans are all about making that happen. The Democrats are just the opposite. They don't want people to have jobs. They don't want people to get better pay. If that was true, the minimum wage would be $15 an hour right now nationwide. It would be a law. But Democrats know that's not something that's good for the economy, and so they don't do it. They just say that it should be done, which is so typical of them. The Democrats have never done anything for anyone. I think the last Democrat that actually did anything for the American people was probably FDR. The Civil Rights Act was lip service. It was signed in 1964. And while things have changed, they have changed because our society has evolved. It has had nothing to do with any legislation that's ever been enacted. And I guarantee you that no legislation will ever be enacted by the Democrats that's going to help anyone. Black, white, brown, purple, red, or polka dotted. That's not why they're there. They're only there to increase their power base and their legacy. And I hope people start realizing that. All right, well, let me know what you think. Comments below. Shoot me an email, motorpoet59@gmail.com. Maybe I'm all wet, but I don't think so. And like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. We'll see y'all later.